I was about to confess my feelings to my online crush in person when floating bullet comments suddenly appeared out of thin air. Give it up, Luna. The male lead's avoiding you. He has realized he messaged the wrong girl and he's totally grossed out. It's totally her fault for using a profile pic so similar to Chloe's. Otherwise, Asher would never have mixed them up. Ugh, just thinking that it was Luna comforting him after his big loss. That all those sweet words from Asher were meant for her. It's so annoying. Asher has been creeped out too. And our female lead Chloe only just added him yesterday. Luna's just causing trouble for everyone. I was watching those comments just as Asher walked out of the gym after his basketball game. Seeing me, his eyes darted away, clearly wanting nothing to do with me. I stepped around him and shoved the confession letter straight into his roommate's hand. Online crush? Please, Asher wasn't my only online flirt. Those late night soothing voice messages were all mass texted. Seeing those bullet comments, I was completely stunned. Standing outside the basketball court, I watched the scrolling text, gradually piecing things together. According to them, I was just a side character in some campus romance novel. And my online flirt, Asher Miller, was the male lead. No wonder his replies these past few days had been slow and dismissive, dripping with irritation. He'd mistaken me for the female lead, Chloe Lee, from the very start. That's why he'd added me on Instagram, chatted with me, and caught feelings amid the endless stream of goodnights. Now that he knew the truth, he wanted nothing to do with me. He saw me as an obstacle to his budding romance with Chloe. A burst of noise came from nearby. Asher was coming. He casually took a water bottle a classmate offered, unscrewing the cap, and taking a swig. He was dazzling, the secret crush of countless girls. After a few steps, he saw me and stopped dead. Then, awkwardly, he looped away, turning to talk to a teammate beside him. Watching his reaction, I sighed. It seemed those bullet comments were telling the truth. If I were Luna, I'd stay far away from the male lead, spare myself the embarrassment. Seriously, the male and female lead are meant to be. Why is the side character trying to butt in? So pathetic. Asher can't even stand the sight of her. Asher was indeed avoiding seeing me. He was fiddling with his phone. A smile touched his lips without him realizing. It was probably Chloe that he was messaging. He just added her. Just as he was about to brush past me, I lightly grabbed his wrist. Under his startled gaze, I smiled. You're Asher, right? The bullet comments went crazy, all hurling insults. I ignored them. Is Blake your roommate? Do you know where he is right now? Asher froze. Why are you looking for him? I waved the confession letter. Got something I want to give him. Asher didn't speak, but one of his teammates, drawn by the commotion, piped up. You're looking for Blake? He's over at the tennis courts next door. Oh, okay. I released Asher's wrist. Thanks. I headed towards the tennis courts, letter in hand. Whispers start behind me. Holy crap, this girl's bold. She likes Blake? Yeah, that guy's so creepy. What girl would like him? Blake's got looks, though. A different vibe from Asher. Pretty, almost. Guess some people are just into that face. Hey, Asher, why so quiet? Asher, where you going? Not grabbing food? Footsteps hurried after me. Soon, a figure blocked my path. I blinked. Asher, do you have something else to say? Asher frowned, looking at the letter in my hand. He seemed confused by his own actions, running a hand through his hair in frustration. Nothing, Blake can be difficult. You don't know him well. Just showing up might piss him off. Maybe I could give him the letter for you? The bullet comments exploded. What's this? Is Luna playing hard to get? It scared me for AS. EC. I thought the male lead actually liked this plain Jane. Clearly, he's just being kind. Gotta admit though, when Asher bombed that big game last year, Luna's comfort was key. If I were him, I might have caught feelings too. Watching the comments, my mind drifted. They meant that crucial basketball game last fall. Asher choked during the final play. They lost. Teammates tried to console him, but he could feel their disappointment. He couldn't get rid of the crushing shame. I'd blown up his phone with messages, getting nothing back. Finally, I sang him a song deliberately off-key through voice messages. He finally responded, "Stop. You're gonna kill me." His voice was weary, but it held a hint of a laugh. I talked him through it all night, finally lifting his spirits. That was Luna stealing the female lead scene. Asher could never fall for her. He's only ever liked Chloe. Exactly. He fell for Chloe at first sight. He only added Luna because he mixed them up. Otherwise, Luna D never have made it onto his list. That sounded about right. I shook my head at Asher. No need. Blake and I are pretty close. Asher froze. How? I leaned in, lowering my voice conspiratorially. Actually, we've known each other for 3 years. Just, only online. We never met face to face. I added, sounding a bit shy. Seeing as we're graduating soon, I wanted to confess in person. Give myself a shot. Wait, did she mistake someone too? Perfect. Luna goes after the creepy villain guy. Leave our male lead alone. But Asher's expression looks kinda off. Asher froze in front of me, looking like he wanted to say something but couldn't. It was kind of amusing. I looked past him. My expression brightened up. I see him. Asher, catch you later. Asher blurted out. Are you sure you're not mistaking? I paused. Mistaking about what? Asher gritted his teeth. You said you've never met. How can you be sure it's Blake you've been talking to? I laughed. If it's not him, could it be you? Asher denied it almost instantly. No, it's not me. I stared at him for a moment. Asher couldn't meet my eyes. I nodded. Right. So Asher, don't worry about my business, okay? With that, I quickly stepped around him and ran towards the group just leaving the tennis courts. Blake stood out in the crowd. The hair at his forehead was damp with sweat. He pushed it back, revealing sharp, striking features. And his eyes were cold, radiating a clear stay-away vibe. Besides tennis practice, no one really hung out with him. I weaved through the group of tall guys and stopped right in front of Blake. He hadn't seen me at first and nearly bumped into me. There was a flicker of surprise in his eyes. Can I help you? I shoved the confession letter into his hand. Yeah, I'm here to confess my feelings to you. Blake looked at the crumpled pink envelope in his palm. Then he lifted his gaze to meet mine. Honestly, I hadn't lied to Asher. Blake and I were pretty close. At least I thought us. Oh, I was the kind of people who always had overly abundant emotions and a strong desire to provide emotional support. I couldn't help but comfort almost every sad boy and sad girl I met. So Asher wasn't my only online flirt. He was just the most responsive one, demanding the most emotional labor. He would pour out his frustrations after a loss and demand lullaby voice messages late at night. Blake was the complete opposite from Asher. The guy was ice cold. I could send him 10 messages and he might not reply to one, but I didn't mind. I was utterly smitten with his face. Meeting his gaze, I stayed cool. I'm Luna, statistics major. Blake, it's cool if you're not into it. Let's just meet offline first? Blake barely acknowledged me. He simply slung his tennis bag over his shoulder and walked off. I didn't dwell on it. I just happily headed towards the cafeteria for dinner. My phone buzzed several times with messages from my online friend Sweet and Low. I remembered you told me you're there. Apist suggested finding a boyfriend might help with your over-empathy. How's that going? I thought for a second and typed back. I had a target, but decided to switch it up. What about you? Didn't you finally add your crush? How's the chatting? Sweet and Low sounded frustrated. Meh. I added him and lost interest. Chatting with him isn't as fun as chatting with you. Just then, I saw those bullet comments scrolling wildly again. Someone explain. Why is Luna friends with the female lead? So, the male lead was just a completely option of Luna? Girl, what are you doing? Your male lead's waiting for your reply. Why are you chatting with this woman? Luna, turn around. Creepy Blake is following you. This is a hot mess. Get yourselves popcorn, folks. So, Sweet and Low was Chloe, the female lead, and Blake was following me? I whirled around. Blake was 10 meters away. Though he froze for a second, he didn't look the least bit ashamed of tailing me. Expressionless, he got close and passed right by me. I shrugged it off and ducked into the cafeteria. I was exhausted that night. After showering, I crashed. I said goodnight to my various online flirts except for Asher. I was dead tired. I turned off my phone and slept. Finding a boyfriend was a serious goal for me. The next day, right after class, I eagerly went looking for Blake. It was too early. The tennis courts were empty. After wandering around, I came back to find an argument brewing. Coach, the ball machine was broken when I got here. And look, it's deliberate. Who was the last one out last night? Blake. He came back after dinner and stayed until closing. Did you check the cameras? Cameras are down. Maintenance hasn't fixed them yet. They were arguing when Blake arrived. Everyone stopped, turning to stare at him. The coach's voice was sharp. Blake, did you damage the ball machine? Blake looked at him. No. His detached tone annoyed the coach. Don't lie. It's not a big deal. Just own up. Tima, Tez murmured. Bet it was him. He won't admit it. Does he scare to pay? Unbelievable. The bullet comments were also suspicious of Blake. There's a reason he's not the lead. He's morally sketchy. Ugh, look at his eyes. They're chilling. Blake's face darkened. Pulling his phone from his pocket, he pulled up a video and played it for the coach. The video showed the empty tennis court. In the corner, barely visible, someone violently kicked the ball machine. The scene flashed by. Then the camera flipped, showing my face. Hey Blake, you're not at the courts yet? I've been waiting here forever. I was standing at the back watching the drama. Everyone turned to look at me. I smiled awkwardly. It's just a random clip. But thanks to my video, Blake was cleared. The coach walked over. Miss, did you see who damaged the machine? I hadn't remembered at first, but Blake showing the video jogged my memory. I pointed at the guy, dead certain it was him. The guy exploded, denying everything. It wasn't me. It was. You were kicking it, yelling about how Blake only got picked for the Chicago tournament because he bribed the coach. The coach's face darkened. You said what? I didn't. Oh. I pretended to pull out my phone. I filmed more than one clip. Let me find it. The guy panicked. Under everyone's stares, he cracked and bolted. His reaction was as good as a confession. The coach was pissed. All right, break it up. Back to practice. Coach. I stepped forward, smiling sweetly. Did you forget something? The coach frowned. I pointed to Blake, who was already quietly organizing his gear nearby. You accused him in front of everyone. Don't you owe him an apology? Blake's hand stilled. He looked up at me. I got a face full of the coach's spit. What a cheat. Get lost. Don't disrupt practice. The coach stormed off, barking. Non-team members, out. Now. I pursed my lips and wiped my face. Blake's lips twitched. I caught it. Are you laughing at M.E.? Blake's face went blank again. No. I pouted. Whatever. I helped you today. You owe me a drink. Blake nodded. Fine. Wait, do I kinda ship them? This is weird. What's with the eye contact? Something's off. I need to see more. My actual leads haven't even met, and you two are already on a date.